Hello, thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to see you here, and I'm going to get started right away. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Wouldn't it be great to increase and secure your monthly recurring revenue? Wouldn't it be great to increase and secure your monthly recurring revenue by actually spending less time and money? Wouldn't it be great to increase and secure your monthly recurring revenue by actually spending less time and money on ads? Imagine having a system that you can leverage that will automatically, yes, automatically bring paying clients to you. Wouldn't that be awesome? Now, let's look into the future and imagine what steady and secure monthly recurring revenue can do for you. Imagine having predictable income, knowing what's coming each month so that you can plan confidently. Imagine being able to focus on clients and you're able to help them and less time chasing new ones. Imagine growing faster with stable income. You can invest your business, hire help, and you could scale. You have the freedom to choose. You could take on the clients that you want, not the clients that you need to survive. Wouldn't that be great? Now let's think of it on a personal level. What would this do for your business if you're increasing and securing your monthly recurring revenue? Well, you have less stress, no more worrying if you make enough each month. You have more time. You're not glued to the grind. You have more time for family, for friends, for hobbies, for what's important for you. You have financial freedom. With steady income, you can save, invest, and enjoy life. You have flexibility, take vacations, unplug when needed, and live life on your terms. Peace of mind, knowing your income is secured, it just helps you sleep better at night. Wouldn't that be amazing? Now, what happens when you do not have a secured method to get monthly recurring revenue? Well, you have stressful months. Every month feels like you're starting from zero. You don't know if you'll make enough, so it's difficult to plan. You have no stability. You chase new clients constantly. One slow month and you're running to pay the bills. You have less time to grow. You spend more time on sales and helping clients, and this makes it very difficult to build a strong business. You can't scale. Without recurring revenue, your business stays small. You're always trading time for money, so you hit a ceiling fast. You have no freedom. You feel like a prisoner to sales. You can't take a break without risking your income. Now, what are some limiting beliefs around monthly recurring revenue and why some business owners think that it's not possible for them? Well, they say things like it only works for big businesses. They think that only big companies can create stable recurring revenue. They say it's too complicated. They believe that setting it up would just require too much time. They say it's too expensive. They assume that creating recurring revenue would just cost too much money upfront. Or they say, I need to learn how to use complicated software. It's probably going to take me a bazillion hours to get this done because I'm not familiar with the software and the tools. They feel, and they just feel that they're going to have to invest all this time and learn all this new stuff. But the truth is that it is possible, it is efficient, it is cost effective, and it is simple and totally doable. And after you see what I'm about to show you right now, you're going to feel great because this is possible for you. So let's take it from being a coach, a consultant, or a business owner or entrepreneur that does not have a simple, repeatable way to make monthly recurring revenue to one that does. My name is Lorena Valencia, and this is me in the picture, by the way. And just a few years ago, I was stuck. I had no money, no connections, no followers, no knowledge of how to run an ad. Starting a business seemed impossible. Now, I got into the journey of starting my business because I was actually diagnosed with breast cancer. When I got diagnosed with breast cancer, I was 29 weeks pregnant. I have 3 boys. So it made me really evaluate the decisions that I had made up to that point. It made me realize what was I investing my time in and what time was I dedicating to my family. So I had to completely change my life, change my habits, but being in a corporate job from 9 to 5 was not giving me that freedom. So in the For me to begin a journey to start healing and to get better and to just go through the journey, I actually didn't do chemo. I went the natural way. I needed time for myself. So I went ahead and opened a business because my intention of opening a business was that I could spend time with my children, spend time with my family, spend time healing, spend time having nutritious meals and cooking them myself, spend time doing exercise, and really dedicate the time to what was my priority in that moment. Now, the issue was that I didn't have a system. So even though I had the best intentions of my business actually started becoming a problem, and it started affecting my health again because I was in a constant survival mode. I was struggling with no steady income, endlessly chasing clients, and feeling completely overwhelmed. And I had tried every tactic I could find, but nothing seemed to work. Then, one day, after another failed attempt to land a client, I realized that I couldn't continue to do the same things and expect different results. And that's when I discovered the power of LinkedIn and AI. What was my epiphany? Well, I didn't need to be popular. I didn't have to have fancy tools or spend hours cold calling. I didn't need to buy a $20 or $50 or $70,000 course. By leveraging LinkedIn AI, I was able to automate my outreach, attract the right paying clients, and create consistent recurring revenue. So I went from chasing clients to having a system that brought them to me consistently. The stress disappeared, my income stabilized. I finally had the freedom to focus on myself, on my healthy habits, develop a good morning routine, a good evening routine, and I was able to grow my business while doing that. And why am I here? Well, because I know what it is to feel stuck and overwhelmed. I want to show you how to build a system that works so that you can attract clients to you, so that you can create recurring revenue and finally have the business that you've been dreaming of. So again, this was me. This is my story. This is my family. This was me when my business was draining me, where I didn't have a schedule, where I didn't have a system, when I didn't have predictable income, when I was overwhelmed with stress, when I was overwhelmed with my schedule just all over the place. And then once I learned principles, once I learned leverage, I was able to create monthly recurring revenue. And then my business stopped draining me, and it actually started fueling me, and I felt in control. So what are you going to learn today? We are going to make your LinkedIn profile attract paying clients to you, just like a paid salesperson. 2, we're going to learn how to use AI to build your LinkedIn profile, okay, and how to create a great headline, a summary, and experience section that attracts paying clients to you. I'm going to show you also how to automate follow-ups, how to create AI-driven follow-ups that keep the conversation going, even if they don't respond right away. Okay, I'm going to show you a system around that. And then I'm going to show you how to create content that builds trust in just a couple of seconds using AI and LinkedIn. And we want these posts to position you as the expert and the authority in your space so that you're always practicing your ABCs, so that you're always closing. Now, how to make your LinkedIn profile attract paying clients. And before I get into this, I need to create a foundation. And this is something that's just going to help your business, even if you apply it in different areas. And that is the foundation of what a principle and what a tactic is. Okay, a principle, these are big rules that guide everything that you do. They're universal and timeless. They apply no matter the situation. A tactic can be a specific action, or I like to say it can be a tool. It can be the latest tool that people are using. Okay, they are adaptable. They are situation dependent. You can actually choose the tactic based on what's happening right now. So let's say like a new Instagram type of profile opens up and everybody goes under, and now you have to open up an account there. That would be a tool, that would be a tactic, because that is what's currently being used. So you do want to use it, but the way that you're going to make that tool work is if you apply a principle. What is a principle? They're the foundational beliefs or rules that guide decision-making actions. They're universal. Okay, what is a tactic? Actions or methods or tools, like I just explained, to help you achieve short-term goals. They're adaptable, practical, and situation dependent. Now, what are they doing wrong? They apply tactics without principles. Example, they tell you an automation tool will help them get leads on LinkedIn, okay? A tool, the latest tool out there, use this, it's gonna help you get a bunch of clients on LinkedIn. But they don't teach you how to grab someone's attention first on the messaging. There's actually a methodology and a way to have a message to bring these prospects and attract them to your message, but they leave that out. So the tool only works if you know that, but again, they leave it out. Here's another example. Someone tells them, you can use ChatGPT to grow their business, but they don't teach you how to put the right prompts into ChatGPT. You see, ChatGPT only works if you give it specific instructions. You have to understand the principle of how to communicate with ChatGPT so that it works for you. Now, you can use a principle to make a tactic work, but you cannot make a tactic work without the principle. And the secret to growing your business is by applying the right principle to the right tactic. Does that make sense? Now, what is the number one principle on LinkedIn? Your LinkedIn profile isn't about you. It's about your client. So customer is king. Does that make sense? Why talking about yourself does not work? Well, clients do not care about your resume. They're not looking to read your life story or job titles. They want to know how you can help them right now. The best example that I can give you this so that this really stays with you is that let's say that I play tennis and I have a broken racket, okay? And I have the pain that I'm not able to play tennis and enjoy the sport that I love to do because it's my hobby, it's how I just spend time, this is how I really stress, and I have a broken racket. It's causing me pain right now, this racket that's broken. So I go to the mall, and as I start walking and I start seeing the storefronts, I see that there's a clothing store. I might get distracted with that, but then I see that there's a tennis store. That tennis store in the storefront, I see that they have the latest sports outfit, the latest sneakers. I see that they have the latest technology that helps you train, or maybe they have a course, and they have this in the storefront. I mean, that's attractive. But imagine that on my right, I see a tennis store that says, we fix tennis rackets in 45 minutes. Which store do you think that I'm going to be drawn to when I have this need? Well, it's going to one that's going to fix it in 10 minutes. So that's what we need to communicate in your LinkedIn profile. They want to know how you can help them right now. And we're going to get into that in a little bit, but I'm going to show you how you can leverage every single space on LinkedIn so that it does that for you, so that you're not chasing clients. So we want to have content that focuses on their pain points. We have to speak to the urgent needs. We have to speak to the struggles. We have to speak to the desires of your audience. Your audience should see themselves in your profile. This is going to allow you to position yourself as a solution. So instead of listing your achievements, you want to show that you understand their problems so that you can solve it. You want to shift from the me to the you language. You want to use words like you, your needs, to make it clear that your profile is there for them and not about you. And all of this, when you put all of this together, what this is going to do is that it's going to build trust. When they see that you understand their pain, they trust you more. And trust leads to paying clients. Your LinkedIn profile should feel like a mirror to your clients' problems and not a spotlight on you. Now, let's see what people actually see when they are on your LinkedIn profile. Well, there's a section for a headshot, for a background, for a headline, for a contact information. And let me just quickly show you the different spaces where you can actually leverage and speak to your audience. Okay, so you have the banner on the back. You definitely want a professional profile. Okay, and then you definitely want a headline here right under your name so that it speaks to a problem and to a specific audience and how you're going to fix this problem. The reason why you want this headline is because anytime that you are posting, anytime that you are commenting, that headline will show up. So imagine if your paying customer that has an urgent pain or an urgent need, they start going through different comments or they start seeing different profiles and they say CEO of this, founder of this company, vice president of this, assistant to this, but then they see a profile that speaks to them and that says, we fixed this problem. You are my target. I have the solution to your pain. I have the solution to your pain. Which headline do you think that's going to attract them to that profile? Well, the one that speaks to them. Okay, so that is an area, this area right here is one of the changes that you can make tomorrow. And that's how you can start. It's one of the changes that you literally can start doing and then start commenting and posting, and you'll see what that will do in terms of engagement and in terms of people coming to you versus you chasing them. Then you have your about section. Again, all these spaces that you see here is a moment for you to talk to your audience on how you deliver a result to their urgent pain. Then you have activity, you have experience. Okay, and we go through a process and how to build all of this so that and I'm actually going to show you how to do this with AI. And let's get into that right now. So how can you use AI? Let me go back to my presentation here. So how can you use AI to build your LinkedIn profile? Well, you have to understand principle number 2. Remember, there's a principle and there's a tactic. So the tactic and the tool is LinkedIn. The tactic is the different sections on LinkedIn. Now, what principle are we going to incorporate on the LinkedIn profile so that it starts bringing paying clients to you? Well, we want to go to principle number 2, which is you have to use the right framework. I specifically use a methodology or framework, or let's call it content structure, that is called Timer. Now, what does this methodology include? Well, it's very simple. It has to do with having your content deliver a continuous, irresistible offer by addressing key areas that reduce client hesitation to emphasize value. Okay, what's the breakdown? Well, what is important? Well, time is important, identity is important, money is important, energy is important, reputation is important, results is important. So now that we have the principle with the methodology, we can now go to ChatGPT. So we have the framework here, which is an entire document of how the framework is constructed. So now I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to copy something like this. I'm going to tell ChatGPT, I'm just going to give it an example of a business. And I'm going to put something like this. I am creating a LinkedIn profile. I sell consultation services for businesses that need to improve their systems and processes in their HR department. I want you to help me create a LinkedIn headline and about section for my LinkedIn using this methodology. So what I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to copy the framework, okay? And then I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm going to enter the methodology. And this is how you leverage AI to build things for you. But again, you can tell ChatGPT, build a LinkedIn profile for me, and it will, but it will do it at how it thinks you want to construct it. So it's going to probably use that resume format and talk about you and your experience and how awesome you are. But remember, people do not want to read that. If there is a paying customer out there, what's going to attract to them is the solutions that you are putting and positioning on your LinkedIn profile. So here we go. ChatGPT, as you can start seeing, it created a headline for me. It created a whole entire about section. And now I can actually create and leverage this information and leverage this framework to build other things. Because now I'm able to automate follow-ups. I can set up AI-driven follow-ups that keep the conversation going, even if they don't reply right away. So you can actually tell it now, for example, create a 3-message campaign for a LinkedIn DM. I'll go ahead and create it. Okay, there it is. Message number 1. Message, and I'll just start giving you. You could actually, and I'm going to show you in the presentation, so stay to the end, how this can create posts, newsletters, blogs, content. And again, it's because you have the right framework. Okay, now, because you have principle number 1, that it's all about your client, and now you have the right framework, you're able to create automatic messages, email drip campaigns, and weekly content. So this is an example of all the posts and how I leverage AI to create posts, to create newsletter, to create content that is it's written with a framework. And that's how I have people reach out to me, whether it's from a post, whether it's from an email, whether it's from a LinkedIn DM message, because I use the right framework. Here we have another example. Now, once I have this principle, once I have all the areas of LinkedIn with content that attracts clients to me and that delivers a solution, now I can fully take advantage of the entire LinkedIn profile to build a machine that brings paying clients to me. Okay, now, what would a LinkedIn machine look like? Okay, well, did you know that LinkedIn is the only social media platform that gives you emails for free? Anybody that you send a connection request to by having a connection campaign, when they accept your connection request, you actually have their email. So this is, again, the capability that this is going to give you to grow your list is just huge, because as long as you're connecting with your prospects, you're going to have their email. So that's one of the first things that you can do. Now, what else can you do on LinkedIn? Well, you're able to define an audience. LinkedIn gives you groups. It gives you the ability to create searches where you're able to find a decision maker in a specific industry, in a specific location, with a specific company size. So once you build your audience and you know exactly who you want to reach out to, the next thing that you could do is you start creating a conversation with them. So you're able to send them messages. You're able to create a vertical here to increase appointments. You're able to create a vertical where you're sending prospects to a funnel to increase appointments. And then you're also able to create a database where you're bringing all this data from LinkedIn into an area where you're into a CRM where you're able to put them on a drip campaign. This is all leveraging and having a machine. And actually, you can actually run this on automatic. Okay, you can have automation send out the messages, automation send them to the funnel, automation responding to scheduling the link, automation that brings the data over, drip campaigns that are all automatic so that you have time for what is important for you. So again, this is a machine that is contacting the specific target that you have, paying clients that are interested in getting your service. Okay, this is a machine that's delivering a message that resonates to their urgent need. This is a machine that's going to grab their emails, put it on a CRM so that you could put it in a nurturing campaign. And you have the capabilities of having 3 verticals so that you're not just dependent on one. You do not only want to depend on DM messages. You do not only want to depend on a funnel. You do not only want to depend on an email drip. A successful marketing strategy is always going to give you the capability for you to generate appointments from multiple verticals. And LinkedIn can be leveraged to do so. So here, for example, this is just an example of the amount of emails that I am able to create using AI, using the data, the emails that LinkedIn is giving them, and then I am able to put my prospects in an email campaign. Now, isn't this awesome? Okay, you see, I don't have any more random acts of marketing using old prehistoric tactics that do not work. I am not trying to reinvent a wheel. I am not trying to test something to see if it works for me. Okay, this is something that works. There is a principle, there is a tool, there is a principle, there is a tactic, Now there's automation. We're working smarter. There's leverage. I now have time for what's really important in my business. Now, imagine all of this attracting clients to you versus you chasing them. Now, I just want to give you an example of when this is properly set up. This is how you continue to leverage LinkedIn, because LinkedIn, when you are putting your post and when you're making connections, it actually helps their algorithm wants you to be sharing content. So right now we have to use that leverage that they are allowing us, that they're giving to us. Okay, so for example, this is a post that we posted. We actually post on a daily basis. This is a post that generated 1,000 impressions. I actually had a customer that contacted me I have customers that contact me out of posts that I made. Okay, because again, I am leveraging the system. Now, how much would it have cost me in another platform to get 1,000 impressions? How about 1,000 emails? Okay, and you can do that with LinkedIn. You see my database here. We have another post, 510 post impressions, and I was going to tell you, my database has over 100,000 prospect leads that I have been able to gather just from LinkedIn without paying 1 cent for an email, without spamming. Okay, these are conversations and engagement that I am generating, and people want to speak with me. Okay, now, because I have the system, I don't have feast or famine anymore. I don't experience that. I don't have feast or famine income because I have a principle that works with a tactic. So second, when you have a principle and a methodology that clearly says who you are servicing, you now have more conversations with your actual qualified prospects, because you just don't want conversations with anyone. You want conversations with qualified prospects, and you want your marketing strategies, your message, your profile, your emails, anything that you are doing, we want it to have that concentration on that audience that qualifies as that 3% that are buying from you now, that their need is urgent now, and the solution that you have for them is able to be delivered now. When you are focused on your 3%, when you are delivering your message, not to the 30% that are not interested in you, not to the 30% that they're never going to buy from you, or that they're unaware of that pain or problem. No, we don't want the message to go to them. We want to focus on that 3%. So once you're focused on that 3%, okay, and your eyes are on the mark, that is how you secure and increase your monthly recurring revenue. Now, let me show you just a very quick results over. This is just recently back in January. This is only 2 weeks of the amount of appointments that I was able to generate just with my LinkedIn profile. This is one profile. Now, if you are in sales and you understand the concept of ratios, because we are in sales and because you need conversations to increase your monthly recurring revenue, you understand that we are in a numbers game. So the more conversations we are having, the more prospects we are going to have, the more proposals we are going to send, the more ratios we're going to have to be able to close. So this is one profile, and I'm actually tripling these amount of appointments that you see here because I actually have 3 profiles doing this. Okay, so it's a numbers game. Okay, and you want these messages to be reaching out to these prospects so that you're having these amount of appointments and people reaching out to you so that they want to have a conversation with you. Now, I'm sure you've heard of this story. Okay, in 1903, Henry Ford founded Ford Motor Company. And while everybody was thinking on how to get the horse to work harder, Henry Ford was focused on leverage. Back then, if we asked people what they wanted, okay, they would have said faster horses. And let me kind of rephrase that question. If we ask people that are unaware of the information that Henry Ford had and what he had been exposed to, those are the type of people that were saying we want faster horses. But if I'm pretty sure that if you knew what Henry Ford was coming up with, you would have thought differently. Why? Well, because he built a machine to do all the heavy lifting. Now, I want you to really pause for a moment and let this point really sink in. Back then, for them to get faster to a place, they thought that the horse was the only thing available. all right? We are living at a time where we have leverage at our hands that can allow us to get to our goals and our profit and the income that we want for our business faster, simpler, and totally doable. And I want this point to really sink in, because now that you have this information, now that you understand that you have no reason to experience feast or famine, you have no reason to experience lack of appointments, you have no reasons to have a repeatable system that you're just generating leads automatically without having to pay an ad. So what are you going to do? Because let me tell you, the principle number 3 that I want to share with you on how you can grow your business and how I was able to grow my business is because I used the leverage at hand, okay? And that was AI. We're using AI to grow and leverage the business. Now, let me ask you this. Would you ride a horse when there is a car that can get you there faster, effortlessly, and more effectively? If you have an emergency right now and you need to get to somewhere fast because your life depends on it, would you ride a horse or would you take the car if it's available? Now, let me ask you this. How many years do you want to spend living the life that you are living right now without taking action and seeing that your goal is all the way at the end without any hope of getting there? When we are offering the solution, do you want to continue to use the same systems that are not working, that your goal is like almost non-existent because you're just frustrated because you don't know how to get there? Well, we have the car. While you've been riding the horse, we have the car that can help your business and that can help you get to that goal that you have for 2025. You see, remember my story. The business that I wanted for freedom had actually enslaved me because I didn't know about systems. I didn't know about leverage. I didn't know about automation. I thought that you needed to like run ads to grow your business and spend $2,000, $5,000 on ads to actually see some type of profit. I was risking my health, missing valuable time with my family, and it all changed when I learned about leverage. Now, let me ask you this. Are you not hitting your targets or making the income that you'd want right now? How many appointments did you book in the last 30 days with new and ideal paying clients? What did you do in the last 30 days to try to book appointments? Here's another question. Did you do all this work yourself? Are you stuck to your computer reading and responding messages and trying to learn marketing and systems and automations? And then this is robbing you the time from the passion that you actually have to help your clients to use your God-given gift to help people with the skill that you have, to deliver solutions to businesses, to help them grow, to deliver possibilities, hope. If you're a coach, you're delivering hope, you're fixing people's life. Do you want to be spending your time using testing systems and seeing this works and automation and learning how to use Zapier and all these other tools? Do you want to continue to do the same thing over and over and expecting the same results? No. You see, the raw reality is that generating appointments and conducting them are the only 2 things that matter to increase your monthly recurring revenue. But it needs to be done automatically and in a way that it does not rob time from your priorities. Does that make sense? Now, let me ask you this. If I teach you a couple of prompts, would that help you? If you saw what I just did on ChatGPT, I had the framework, I copied it, I know what the business is doing. I use ChatGPT. I literally you can do your own campaign literally in seconds when you know how to use it properly. And what I showed you was so simple to do. Remember, I did say that this is possible for you. This is efficient for you. This is cost effective for you. It is simple for you and totally doable. And you can do it. Now, you've been with me so far, and I am so grateful for the time that you have invested in listening to me. So now, with your permission, and only if it's okay with you, I want to show you how we can help you. So here, we have the system, the first system that we're going to leverage, LinkedIn, to generate appointments. We're going to be sending messages out. If we are sending 20 to 30 messages on a daily basis, these are a lot of conversations that it's going to happen right here. So I actually don't want to load you with more work. So what we're going to do is that we are going to define the audience with you. We are going to create a campaign with a message that resonates, that speaks to their pains, and that offers your solution. Okay. And then we're going to put someone here. We're going to put a virtual assistant so that they are there reading every message that is going out and reading every message that is coming in. We are also going to train an AI to learn about your business, to learn your tonality, to learn the solutions that you offer, what makes your difference in the space that you are in, and how you do your deliverables. We want to teach it everything about your business so that when the AI is responding to these messages, the AI know exactly how to respond, just like if it's you. So we leverage this first system here, and we build this entire process right here. The next thing that we want to do is, if you have a funnel, we want to create a navigation for prospects that say no. And we want to drive them to their funnel, because a lot of times when people say no, again, they're saying no because it's probably not the right time. And you'd be surprised how many people are sent to a funnel, into a presentation, and then they are booking the call. So again, we want to build this navigation so that when somebody says no, we lead them to the right place so that they can take another step, and so that they can take an action, so that they can see the solutions that you're bringing to them. So we have the first system here that generates appointment, the second system here that generates appointments. And then the other thing is that as these messages are going out, you're going to have, again, prospects that say yes. You're going to have prospects that say no. But then you're going to have those prospects that they didn't reply. However, they connected with you. And because you have a defined audience and you're using LinkedIn and they give you their emails, we don't want to throw away this data. Are valuable. Okay. So what we want to do is that we want to create, so these prospects that say no answer, we want to bring them over. We're going to create an automation where they're brought over to a CRM and where they start on an email drip campaign. These are all automation. This is all done automatically. And all you have to look at is your calendar for your next appointment. We manage all the setup. We manage all the messages. We always are checking all of this, that this is running daily, Monday through Friday, making sure that your appointments are coming in, reading every message that's coming in, updating the platforms, updating the list, tweaking the messages. Maybe you change your service and now we need to change and update. We do that for you. Because at the end of the day, what we want you to have is time for what your passion is, so that you don't have to worry about automations and marketing and tools and how to connect the tools, and it's the tool communicating, is the lead being brought over to a CRM. Again, we want you to use your time for what is important for you. Okay. Now, before having a game-changing system like this, where automation brings you paying clients, the VA and the AI responds to messages seamlessly, and the VA oversees everything to ensure the machine is running smoothly, you need to master the fundamentals. So let me take you back to the basics. So you saw the machine, but let's go back to the foundation. And what would a machine need to function properly so that it's giving you massive success? The first thing that you're going to need is a LinkedIn The first thing that you're going to need is a LinkedIn profile makeover. If you were to hire a company right now, an agency or a marketer that does a complete overview of your LinkedIn profile with the right framework, you got to make sure that they have the right framework and they're in the right principles. Okay, you're looking at paying around $1,000 for a makeover. Now, I'm going to be sharing prices that are out there. However, I want you to stay to the end, because I will be making you a crazy offer so that you get started today. Now, the other thing that you're going to need is a LinkedIn message copywriter. We need to create messages for your audience to help them make a decision to schedule the call now. These are specific messages that are going out with the framework that we have and that work because they are proven. So if you were to hire someone just to create a LinkedIn message campaign for you just on DM, and you hire them for several messages and the follow-ups and the no thanks and the responses and the yes and the schedule the call, you're looking at around $2,000. So you need your LinkedIn profile makeover for $1,000, the LinkedIn message copywriter for $2,000. Okay. The next thing that you're going to need is you want to leverage the data. When I say data, I mean emails, the emails that you are getting from LinkedIn. And with those emails and those prospects, we want to put them on an email drip campaign. Therefore, we want to create therefore, we want to have a copywriter that creates an email campaign with follow-up sequences. We want to make sure that every email has a call to action. We want to put you there as the authority in your space. We want value-packed emails. So if you were to hire right now a copywriter for emails that convert, that bring you prospects, paying clients right now, and you want them to write 10 emails for you to start, you're looking at around $5,000. So the makeover for $1,000, the messages and the DMs for $2,000, the 10 emails for $5,000, you're looking at a total of $8,000. The other thing that you're going to need is, remember, you saw the home machine and all of that works seamlessly. You're using LinkedIn, you generate a list, you're bringing it a list on LinkedIn, you're bringing it to the automation tool. From the automation tool, you're taking it to Zapier, from Zapier to the CRM, from the CRM to the email automation. This all needs to have an integration specialist to put all of the system together, to build the machine, to make sure every tool is communicating smoothly. If you were to hire an integration specialist, and let's say that you hired them for around $50 an hour, and it usually takes around 15 to 20 hours to get this set up, let's say that it'll cost you $500. So you're looking at the makeover, the DM messages, the 10 emails, the integration specialist. That adds up to $8,500. The next thing that you're going to need as a fundamental so that the VA is responding properly is we need to train the AI to learn your tonality, your voice, and to create all of the The next thing that you're going to need is, remember, the VA is working with an AI, and we need to train the AI. So we need an AI specialist that looks at the machine, that looks at the campaign, that looks at your services, that understands the prospect, that understands the pain of your prospects, that understands the solutions that you are delivering. And we want that AI to learn about your business. So if we get an AI specialist and we hire them for 15 hours to train the AI, okay, at $100 an hour, you're looking at $1,500. So again, you have the makeover for $1,000, the DM messages for $2,000, the email copywriter for 10 emails for $5,000, the integration specialist for $500, and the AI specialist for $1,500. You're looking at a one-time fee to set up the entire machine of $10,000. So the entire machine gets billed for a cost of $10,000. Okay, now remember, the machine gets billed, but now the machine needs to run on a monthly basis smoothly. On a monthly basis, we needed to generate appointments for you automatically. We need you to have the support where if something breaks, there's somebody that fixes it for you without you having to take time for yourself to try to figure out what's wrong with the tools. Second, we want this machine to have someone giving you the support of looking at every message as they come in. So a fundamental to run the machine on a monthly basis, you're going to need a VA. You're going to need a VA to at least work 3 hours a day, reading and responding and booking appointments for you. Okay, we want them to do inbox managing, scheduling, managing, reporting and tracking, research and support, like looking at the messages that are coming in, working with the AI to help respond. So if you were to hire a VA at $15 an hour, okay, a US-based VA that understands you and that you're able to communicate with, so you're looking at $900 a month if you're giving them 3 hours daily, 5 days a week. The other thing that you're going to need is a CRM. Remember, we're grabbing the data from LinkedIn, we're grabbing the emails, we're putting it on a CRM, and we want that CRM to automate emails, nurturing emails to help us convert more leads. So you're looking at, on a monthly basis, $1,050 monthly. Then you also need a software like ClickFunnels or something to host your landing pages. You're looking at $97 a month. Then you need, let's say you start posting. and you start creating content, daily content, and you don't want to post on Instagram, post on LinkedIn, post on Facebook, it just takes a lot of time to post on all of those platforms. So you want a manager where you post one time, but then it goes to all of the platforms. So that you're looking at 1,246. And then usually where you hire a marketing agency, you have their management fee. And their management fee is going to cover all of the support. It's going to cover it's going to cover them managing the entire campaign, tweaking it, making sure that everything's running smoothly, giving you the support that you need. So some of them are going to have like a ticket system, even though you're paying them a bunch of money on a monthly basis. You have to wait like 3 days to get a response from them. So you're looking at fees of $2,146 monthly to have a machine like this, getting appointments for you on automatic so that you're not worried and concerned and you're just sitting there waiting for the appointments. Now, if we get the monthly fees and we multiply it by 12, which is a year, you're looking at an entire expense of a year on just the monthly expenses of $25,752. But remember, you had the setup fee. So you have the monthly fees for a year at $25,752. You have your setup fees at $10,000. Altogether, that comes out to $35,752. Now, let me ask you this. If you were to invest right now $35,000, let's round it off, and all this system did, again, this is a machine that's running for you on a monthly basis, generating 3, 5, 8 appointments on a weekly basis. So let's say that in a year, you only got 12 appointments. You met with 12 prospects and you only closed 2. Now, I know you are a better closer, so I know you're going to be closing more than 2 because these are qualified prospects. But let's say you only close 2 in the entire year. Would it make sense to invest $35,000 to make $60,000? What if you close 3 and you're spending $35,000 to make $90,000? Now, let's take a break really quick and let me ask you a quick question. Do you have $1? Go ahead, go to your purse. I'm kidding. So you have $1, and let's make believe that we actually met for a coffee date. Okay, we got together for coffee. We got together for coffee, and I bring out a $20 bill, and I say, "Hey, would you buy this $20 bill for $1? Would you buy it?" Well, I'm pretty sure you will, because that is a simple way for you to 20x your money instantly. You'll probably ask me if I have more $20 bills, and you'll probably be like, I have more dollar bills, and it will be a very profitable exchange. Does that make sense? Now, remember, I did say that this is possible for you, that this is efficient for you, that this is cost effective for you, that this is simple for you and totally doable. So how are we going to help you? Again, I'm going back to my story, because I know what it is to have a business that I wanted for freedom, but instead it enslaved me. I was risking my health, valuable time with my family, and it changed when I learned about leverage. And if there is a way that I can help you today for you to start growing your business, I need to be able to bring leverage to your business so that you have time to dedicate to what is important for you. And we want to be that leverage. Does that make sense? So are you ready and excited for a change? Because you cannot continue to do the same things and expect different results. And we all know, and we've seen the post, that is the equivalent, and that is exactly what insanity means. So 2025, we can't do that. We have to make a change. Now, again, it does make sense to spend $35,000 if you're going to make $90,000. It makes sense. It makes sense from an ROI point of view, but that's still a lot of money. So what we need to do for you to have leverage is that we need to drop the price. Okay, ready for it? So we know what you need. You know the fundamentals. You need the profile makeover. We need to write your messages. We're going to get your emails. We're going to put the AI specialist to learn about your business. We're going to put the integration specialist, but we're not going to charge you $10,000. we're actually going to bring this down to a one-time payment fee of $998. $998 will give you the entire machine and the entire setup so that everything is running smoothly for you. Okay, you get the LinkedIn makeover, you get the LinkedIn profile makeover, the LinkedIn integration specialist, the email copywriters, the AI specialist, and everything that you need to have the machine that is working for you like a paid sales person. Okay, you get all of the tools, you get all of the integration, all of the emails. Again, I said this is possible, this is efficient, this is possible, this is efficient, cost-effective, simple, and totally doable. Okay, and I know you can do it. And wouldn't it be great to increase and secure your monthly recurring revenue? That was a question that I started with. And wouldn't it be great to increase and secure your monthly recurring revenue by leveraging someone doing it for you? Okay, that is awesome. Now, again, you get everything. Instead of paying $10,000 out there, you'll be paying $998 as a one-time fee. Now, remember, we also have the monthly fees. So you have the machine for $998, but what about the monthly fees that come out to like $2,148? Because we need to run the machine. We need the VA. We need the AI responding. We need to make sure that you have a team of support that is reading all of the messages, that if something breaks, we are there to respond for you so that you're not concerned about the machine that's running smoothly. So what we're going to do is that we're going to bring it down to $298 a month. So you will get our support for $298 monthly. And the best thing is that you do not have to pay for that now. We will start 30 days after you pay the fee. So we will start 30 days after you pay the setup fee, which is $998. So you have the $998 setup fee, okay? And again, let's review the numbers again. Will it make sense to spend $998 if you were to get $90,000 in return and have a machine and have the support and have a VA and have an AI specialist working for you and have a whole team just giving you the support that you need so that you can concentrate on your business? Again, we want to bring this leverage to your business. Now imagine, and wouldn't that be amazing for your system? I know that it's totally doable for you to come from frustration to freedom, from unhealthy to healthy, if that's one of your goals, from tiredness to energy, if that's important for you, from no ads to getting clients consistently. And I went from no ROI to generating over 6 figures in a couple of weeks, okay? Now again, I know what it is to come from frustration to freedom because I didn't have leverage, and then I did. I know what it is to go from being unhealthy to healthy because that's what's important that's what was important for me. Maybe you have other goals, other priorities. I know what it is to go from tiredness to energy. Hey, nobody tells you that business is gonna cost you so much energy and so much frustration and so much challenges and so many things to overcome. So I know what it was to go from no ads to getting clients consistently. I know what it was to go from no ROI to over 6 figures in just a couple of weeks. Now, because I know this and because I went through this and because I know what it feels like, I actually want to push one more time. And I spoke with my team so that we can really, really help businesses, so that we can really help coaches and consultants start 2025 on the right road to increase their monthly recurring revenue. So this is what I'm going to do because you stayed with me till the end of this presentation. I'm actually going to drop the setup fee one more time, and I'm going to bring it to $798. $798 for the setup fee, where you get everything again: the profile maker, the copywriter, the integration specialist, the messages, the email, for $798 today. Okay, so all you have to do now is take a step, go to my website. You're going to see the website link right here. Now that website, it's going to take you to our landing page where you can complete the payment. You're going to see this button. You're going to see all the description of the setup fee there. you'll be able to click on that button, and that button's going to take you to our QuickBooks payment portal where you can securely enter your credit card information. We do not keep the credit card information. That's directly with QuickBooks. Okay, and we can get started. Again, let's get started on bringing leverage to your business. Okay, let's get started on helping you increase and secure your monthly recurring revenue. It's time to take action. It's time to do something different, to generate a different result, to generate a profitable result. Okay, now quickly, what happens after you pay the $798? Just so that you understand how we work and so that you get to know our team and me on a one-on-one. So the first thing that's going to happen after you make your credit card payment on the QuickBooks portal, you're going to get a receipt from QuickBooks. After that, after you get that receipt from QuickBooks, you're going to be getting an email from me so that we can schedule our onboarding call where I start gathering information from you. So we start setting up the machine for you. The onboarding is very fast and simple. It's done in like 30 minutes. We will get started on setting up the LinkedIn machine from you. You will be contacted with your account manager to set up the responses, to have the VA that's going to be assigned. And this is something that I really want to let you know how we communicate, because we're going to be in a long-term relationship, because we want to help your business for many, many, many years. Okay, first of all, there's no month-to-month contract. All of our clients that are with us have been with us for years because we generate results. And if we're generating results, I don't have to tie you to a contract. So in terms of communication, we don't have a ticket system. I know the importance of having someone reply to an email or reply to a question that you have, or check something for you, or maybe change a messaging for you. We will always have communication with me or my team. Setup can be done in a couple of days, in 3 to 5 days, 3 if we work together. Okay, so go ahead and go to the website. Again, I already took you to the next steps that you have to take. Go ahead and let's schedule, make your payment for the setup fee. We'll get on our one-on-one and have our onboarding call. And we are ready right here to bring this leverage to your business. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing you on that onboarding call. Thank you so much for your time. And I wish you many, 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 many blessings to your family, to your business. Thanks. Bye-bye.